Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It's Friday, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball. I don't know about the opening, but I'm ready to rock and roll here on a Friday and get after it. Every time we have something new, it's inspiring to me as well. I'm actually watching out of the corner of my eye. We live? We live? We're not live? Well, we are live here on a Friday, ready to get after it, excited and ready to go. Jason Radowitz, Kyle Purviance, myself, Donnie Seymour. We are the Major League Baseball team right here at sportsbookreview.com. It's Friday, Jason. How we feeling out there?
Well, feeling good. Got those 2 wagers in yesterday and won both of those. Of course, Kyle went off, and so we're going to have to give him the mic here to talk for a little bit because that was just a heck of a night.
It was a magical night.
Out here in the chat box, I'm seeing people say Kyle went 0-7. What a horrible night. What do you have to say about that, Kyle?
I mean, I'd like to defend myself there, but, that takes up so much energy, so what the hell. But, no, yesterday was a great day, and we got a bunch of home run props, just kind of everything. Everything just went right. Even the Reds team total, like they had 3 runs in the second inning, and then they don't get the next one until they don't get over that 3.5 till late in the game. And on the hit, it was Tucker Barnhart getting that over one base on the same. It was just everything just kind of fell into place. And, we like to say a broken clock is right twice a day, and yesterday was my broken clock day for sure. Cheers to everyone. I do appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad everyone had a good night and won some money last night. Now I'm just waiting. The only thing to make this week better is I'm waiting for Donnie's public apology about LeBron and Michael Jordan. I'll wait for it today, and I'll sit there and watch it, and it'll be coming soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, it's bad. Look, the one thing that was probably going to happen this year is LeBron James would have went to the finals and lost. But as we know, with Michael Jordan, it's better to lose in the first rounds because if you lose in the first round, much better than advancing. So we all know that's true. But Friday, action-packed card here. If you look in the chat box right now, SBR Picks, you see the highlighted contest, the MLB 10 runs contest. Click on that link, get in it. Hasn't started yet. Don't wake up on a cold sweat. Oh, my God, how did I miss out on the $20,000 in Bitcoin here? Don't worry. Doesn't start till the 14th. A fun competition. And if anything is inspiring from this Major League Baseball show, if we put the word out here, we like scoring runs. We like contests that make you score more runs, more hits, no errors. So get into the contest here at sportsbookreview.com. Click that link for more details. If you have any questions on the Major League Baseball season, check the link out below where we're talking right here, sbrpicks.com/MLB. Let's get into the games today. We don't have any afternoon baseball, so we can sink our teeth into this card tonight. Have some value plays. I also have a best bet and a banker, and we'll certainly get through those on the card today. Let's have some fun. Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies today, taking place in the city of brotherly love. 9:51, 9:52. Max Scherzer on the mound versus Zach Wheeler. Check this out. I mean, this is in Philadelphia. This is in 90-degree heat today. Muggy conditions, a bandbox ballpark, but when you're lining up 2 A-plus pitchers here, you get 7s across the board. Jason, I'm going to start with you first here. Max is on the mound. Typically for my Phillies, I know one thing's for sure: if there's a strikeout prop on Scherzer, whatever the number is, it's not enough.
Well, Scherzer so far this season, actually power numbers, ISO numbers, 242 to righties this season. So you will probably have Hoskins and Real Muto with a chance there for some home runs there. And Scherzer, in the last couple of games, he has allowed some home runs to righties. That's something that he's been doing a lot this year. And like you said, the weather won't help his case at all. For Wheeler, on the other hand, he's been better limiting the home runs, limiting extra base hits. He's just been better overall this year as well. So it's a pick-em game for a reason. It's an under game for a reason. But if I had to pick a team to win, I do like the Phillies in the spot. I think the Phillies, if one of the righties can get a home run in this game, that could be the difference. So I would go with that. Also, no runs first inning, of course, and under 3.5 in the first 5. They're all quality looks. I just think Scherzer might allow 1 or 2 home runs in this game. That might be the difference.
It's very interesting. Like Max Scherzer on the mound here, and roughly, I mean, if you go offshore at some of the outlets, Max Scherzer is an underdog to the Phillies. This isn't the Phillies in 2007 where it's Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, and Murderers Row out here. This is a Phillies lineup that can be had, so it's very interesting that this line is low, and also tells me, Jason, that Zach Wheeler, who's been very good this year for the Philadelphia Phillies, should be able to keep the Phillies in this contest. Kyle, looking over to you here in this game here, hitting conditions in Philadelphia, and as the old adage goes, 3 runs here, 3 runs there. You got yourself an over.
Yeah, I don't know if we get there. If you take the 3-year weighted averages here, the only player in the 2 lineups, I swear to God, there's only one player with an advantage. It's Kyle Schwarber. That's it. That is it for Washington. So I love this game for a no runs first inning is the one that jumped off the page. And you're not getting a terrible number. Sometimes you get them, they're like minus 225, minus 180. This was minus 165 or minus 167 for a no runs first inning with Wheeler and Scherzer on the mound against two lineups that we know we can't trust all the time. So if I'm leaning this game, I don't have an idea on a side. I guess I would lean Scherzer slightly over Wheeler, but I love the no runs first inning, and the under 3.5 in the first 5 makes a lot of sense to me as well. I agree with Jason.
See how it plays out today. 86,300 people have hit the subscribe button here on our channel at sportsbookreview.com. We don't ask for money. The only thing we ask for is your support. Come in the chat box, say hello. But also, if you can and have not done so yet, hit the subscribe button, turn that notification bell on. Who the hell wants to miss Kyle's 7-0 days? The notifications are there, so you can get in here and win some money like Kyle really pressed the button yesterday. Congratulations on that. We'll see if it continues here on a Friday. Let's keep on sliding down the charts. Boston and New York, 965, 966. Eovaldi and King on the mound. Slight favorite here, depending on where you're shopping at, towards the New York Yankees. 111 at Pinnacle Offshore. 122 here at FanDuel in New Jersey. 9.5s across the board to 9s, depending on where you're shopping at. King is not a great pitcher. Eovaldi can be had a little bit, but this is interesting. Yesterday we saw, look, you needed a big victory over the Tampa Bay Rays. The Yankees were not able to provide that with their ace, Garrett Cole, on the mound. Jason, are we looking at a bounce-back spot here for the New York Yankees? This is a big series in the AL East here in June.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be maybe a little bit of a weather issue there, a little bit of rain maybe before the game begins. I don't think it'll matter for the game, but just know that in case of anything. But yeah, I like the Red Sox here. It's more of a pick-em game. You have Eovaldi versus King, and you're getting a pick-em here for the Red Sox. The Red Sox, they've shown a lot of power, and that should continue at Yankee Stadium. Guys against Michael King, like you got Verdugo, Martinez, who hasn't been nearly as good, in the last couple of weeks, but still Martinez in that lineup, Bogarts, Devers, Renfroe, Santana, they all slug against righties. So I think there's a lot there for the Red Sox offensively. And of course, we talk about the Yankees all the time. They don't have much offense, and against Eovaldi, I don't really expect much either outside of maybe 2 runs at most against Eovaldi here. So I do like the Red Sox in this spot.
It's an interesting one here because you do bring up a good point with the weather conditions, which should be before the game, not have really any impact during the game. 72, 73 degrees, slight wind blowing out. So weather conditions should be fine here. The question that we always have is, it's amazing. The Yankees are above 500. Their run differential is barely at even here. So one would think, Kyle, eventually the Yankees will start to hit. I'm not so sure it goes tonight, but hopefully one day they do if you are backing them for the remainder of the season. But taking a look at the lineups tonight, if we match those up, to me, it looks like Boston has the better lineup, righty versus righty in this. What's your thoughts between the Red Sox and the Yankees tonight, Kyle?
Yeah, this one was one I thought the line was a little bit weird. And just to address the chat box, we did skip over Dodgers-Braves, but we're going to do that one next. Donnie will take us to Dodgers-Braves after Red Sox-Yankees. So we will get to that. Don't panic. Don't panic. We're going to get to that Dodgers game because I love the Dodgers today, and we're going to talk about that shit very, very soon. But getting to this one, I like the Red Sox in the first 5 innings here. Look, we know the Yankees don't score in the first 5 innings. Eovaldi is certainly a better pitcher than King. I know Eovaldi can be had, and, Stanton and Judge and them boys can go off at any time, but they just don't really do it early in games. So I'm getting a first 5 money line at minus 120. If you want to be a little riskier and take the minus 0.5, you're getting it at plus money at plus 115. So for me, it's Red Sox or bust. I think the line should be reversed and it should be the other way. I would prefer the Red Sox. You're absolutely right when you're looking at the run differential. I mean, we're talking about a Yankees team with a plus 4, and we're talking about a Red Sox team at plus 44. One of the higher scoring teams in baseball, while the Yankees have scored 63 fewer runs this year than the Red Sox. And you're telling me I can get plus money minus 0.5 or a minus 120 on the money line first 5? Yeah, I like the Red Sox in this one.
It should be a good one here today. And you're right. It is skipped over there, not in time. So I must have got my wires crossed on this. But the good thing about doing it live, we can always rewind and go back. So why don't we start kicking it back? And this is a very interesting game. When we talk about Atlanta, we talk about great hitting weather, 2 lineups that are sensational, 955, 956, the Dodgers and the Braves. Urias versus Anderson on the mound. 8.5s across the board, a favorite here for the Los Angeles Dodgers. If we just try to set the table on what we anticipate tonight, I do think here, Jason, it is a very good pitching matchup. But at the same time, we usually say good pitching beats good hitting. But when you look at the lineups on both sides, if they are full go, this is as good as it gets. This will be a very fun game to watch. What are your thoughts here on the Dodgers and the Braves kicking off this series?
I like the Braves again, over 3.5 on the team total, around -140. If you look at Urias going for the Dodgers, he has not been very good against right-handed batters. You go back to his last 99 batters faced, the last 6 games against just righties, he would have a 5.25 ERA and a weighted OBA of 323, an average of 274. So righties are actually doing some damage against Urias. If you look at the lineup for the Braves, they're going to have mostly righties in that lineup. And, it's obviously Urias is a lefty. So you get Albies to the right side, and most of the other guys will be righties as well. It's basically a right-handed lineup in amazing weather against a left-hander that's struggling versus righties. So, again, I do like the Braves over 3.5 on the team total. For whatever reason, though, the guys in the lineup for the Braves so far against Urias combined 0 for 8. So that's a little bit not encouraging, but I think that will change after today. Obviously, a really small sample size doesn't really mean too much, but it's something to think about, and that's why it's not an official play. It's instead going to be a little Chipotle money play there instead.
Yeah, it's a fun one because, again, the lineups look really good, but when we flip it over to pitching here, Urias' xFIP minus is a 79. Anderson's is an 82. Keep in mind, 100 is the league average. Both of these pitchers overachieving this year and pitching very well, but sooner or later, this isn't Dodger Stadium. This isn't, early April where it's 62 degrees. It's hot in Atlanta. That ball travels, Kyle.
Yeah, it does, and I will expound on what actually in their career, the projected lineup for the Braves tonight are 1 for 19 lifetimes. So there has been one hit by a Brave, and I can tell you who that hit was by. It was by Freddie Freeman, as a matter of fact, a lefty, which is interesting because he's 40 points worse against lefties and righties. But no, I like both lineups quite a bit tonight. The thing I like the most about this game, first of all, both team totals are absolutely in play. Braves over 3.5 against the lefty. I don't care who the lefty is. That's something you have to take a look at. I know it sort of shackles, if you will, Freeman just a little bit, but the rest of those righties are really, really good. And then that Dodgers team total, 4.5 -115. I'm also getting a plus number on the Dodgers, -0.5 in the first 5 at +105. We're talking about a Dodgers lineup that rake against right-handed pitching, and Ian Anderson is not a good right-handed pitcher. So I'm going to get a -115 on the Dodgers team total, and I can get a plus money number on winning that first 5 innings. I think the Dodgers tee off tonight. I like that plus money in the first 5, -0.5 at +105, and I like both teams' team total. This game plays to and over, but give me the Dodgers in the first 5, -0.5 at some plus money.
There you go, flipping it all the way through the marquee games. Let's slide it down here. Value menu wagers. There's a couple games on the card that I did like tonight. The one most interesting one, I do have a best bet and banker, which I'm going to give out in a few moments. But I've been waiting all morning to see what San Francisco is going to do with their pitcher. Webb scratched. I'm even seeing on some places here that Scott Kazmir might be able to get the start here for the Giants. So if you're looking in that perspective, and a lefty is on the mound, Chicago does very well with lefties, but also Jake Arrieta is a terrible pitcher and is going against the San Francisco Giants. Yes, it is a pitcher's ballpark. You get the typical weather that you have in San Francisco, but there's no reason to believe that either one of these team totals doesn't have a chance to come in and even a game total. So it's kind of odd for me to say my value menu wager doesn't actually have a number on it, but I got to tell you, you hear what I'm saying? Like, I don't even care what the number is. I'm still looking into it immediate when it comes out. I think Jake Arrieta should be able to get shelled tonight. If we take a look at his xFIP minus number, a 123. His ERA is 4.41. Jason, I know you like the FIP numbers, 5.17. Sierra, 4.86. He should get tattooed in this game. So if we're looking towards value, as soon as that comes out, it's almost like I don't care who's pitching for San Francisco. I just want to get in on San Francisco's team total. Where's the value on the card for you today, Jason?
Yeah, like I just spoke about, Braves over 3.5 on the team total. I love that play. I love the weather. And at home, they hit. I think they score over 5 runs per game. So it's a great look there, a great spot there for the Braves. So it's just going to be a value play for me. Although it was really close to being an official play. So take that how you guys want to take it.
That means he's betting the house on it, folks. That's how we
correct.
take it.
Double
Monday.
That's double official. Double official from Jason Radowitz. That's why you tune in, folks. I love it.
There you go. And if you have any complaints, send it to @Jason Radowitz, Major League Baseball Play of the Day, 3 units, and he will respond to that. Go ahead, Kyle. What you got today on the value
Very
card?
excited to respond. At any hour, too. He'll be up at all hours of the night to respond for you watching Korean baseball, like 4 a.m. He's a crazy person. Okay, so I've been trying to decide what I like on the value menu and what I want as an official play because things just keep popping up that I seem to like. So we'll start here. Value menu. Nerfy on that Phillies-Nats game, -167. I saw someone said on FanDuel it's -140. That's even better. I would be smashing all over that. And I think I'm going to sprinkle a little value menu here on the Dodgers team total over 4.5 at -120. Look, if I get a mediocre or less than average righty against that Dodgers lineup, I'm taking that team total every time. And I'll do a little sprinkle as well on that Red Sox first 5 money line at -120. I think they get that done. Home run props, I got one for today. My favorite one for today is a guy we were hoping was in the lineup yesterday. It ended up not mattering as Jason smashed his bet and gave everyone a winner. But I like Ryan McMahon today in Colorado, in Coors Field. It's hot. It's hitting weather off the righty Montas. Do you know what Ryan McMahon has done in his career against Montas? 4 for 4 lifetime, 2 singles, 2 doubles. He's hitting with power this year. That's my favorite home run prop of the day. I think you could also, I know Perez went off yesterday and hit a couple of home runs, and it's unlikely that they keep doing that back-to-back days, but he's also 10 for 19 lifetime off Shoemaker with 2 home runs, 5 doubles, so Perez, Ryan McMahon, and I don't mind a little sprinkle either on Cardinals Nolan Arenado. I think he's due. He's got a nice matchup today. Arenado, McMahon's my favorite. In order, I'd go Ryan McMahon, Salvador Perez, Nolan Arenado. Those are the 3 home run props for the day. That's the whole value menu, I believe.
There you go. Value menu across the board here now. It's what everybody likes to do. Friday, it's payday. You guys got your paychecks out here. Jason's telling you to max it out, reverse mortgages, whatever you need to do to fire away on the card today. Let's pick out some of the best bets and bankers. Didn't have one yesterday. I was very upset by that, but today it's Friday. I do have one here, and we're going to center this one on, to me, the worst pitcher on the card, coupled by a disastrous bullpen, aided by some hitting weather. We're going out to Kansas City and looking at those Kansas City Royals today. The lineup that they're going to present today, mostly right-handed batters. And again, lefties really get the Schumacher, but some of the numbers we're going to go over, just disastrous from his perspective. An xFIP minus number of 124, an ERA of 5.90, a FIP of 5.66, a xFIP of 5.07, and a Sierra of a disaster 5.15. In short, what that means is he doesn't strike anybody out, walks batters, the ball is in the air. That should bode well tonight here in Kansas City. And also keep in mind, sometimes when you look at the lineup here, it doesn't look like a great Kansas City lineup, but you have to take snapshots of how they're doing. Just played Minnesota recently as well. The last 6 games on offense for the Kansas City Royals, 6, 10, 7, 6, 5, and 8. Now, also, when we take a look at Matt Schumacher on the mound today, he's not one of those guys that's going to be like, you know what? I'm going 7 1/3 tonight. I'm going to really eat up innings. He averages only 5 innings per start. Now, why this makes a lot of sense to take the Royals here is you have a chance to capitalize late in innings. Why? Minnesota's bullpen. Look at their road ERA, 5.16, and a whip on the road of 1.5. That means when the bullpen comes in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, guys are on base with a chance to score. Good hitting weather in Kansas City tonight. I think this is a viable option. Also keep in mind, you hear this term a lot, a running mate. I think Minnesota's going to be able to score some runs as well. So 2-2s turn into 3-3s, 4-4s, maybe even get extra innings. We could pop this one. Best bet and banker for me on the card today, the Kansas City Royals team total over 4.5 -115 at BetMGM. Let's cash it in. 19-9 on the season. Let's make it 20-9. Jason, take it away. Your best bet and your banker tonight.
Yeah. So the first one, the Indians -111. That is against the Orioles. So J.C. Mejia on the mound for the Indians. He's only got 5 innings pitched all season long in the MLB. It's his first season. In AAA, he actually had a 2 ERA through 2 starts. High strikeouts, low walk kind of guy. Hard to hit him as well. So he looked pretty good in the MLB in his 3 starts. So in his 3 outings so far, expect that to continue against the Orioles. Now, I know he won't go very deep, but he does have starting experience, so he can go potentially 5 innings if he's pitching well. We're still trying to figure out who would pitch after him. It could be Eli Morgan, or it might not be, so we're still trying to check that up. But either way, we got a team with 30 wins going up against a team with 19 wins. The Indians are the team with 30. The Orioles are the team with 19. And you're getting literally minus 110 for the Indians, who are the much better team than the Orioles in this spot. And as long as J.C. Mejia holds it down, I think that Cleveland can get the lead early in this game. And even, whoever comes in relief should be able to get the job done. Obviously, the Indians' bullpen is way better. They have so many better arms coming out of there as well. So I like the Indians here, minus 111 via William Hill. That is my first bet. Then we're going to the second bet. I saw some people put it in the chat. I'm on the Tigers, over 3.5 on the team total. The Tigers going up against the White Sox. They're on the road, so they get a full 9 innings, of course, as well. If you look at the Tigers, and let me bring this up for just 1 second. But if you look at the Tigers, actually, they're hitting a lot better against lefties so far in the last 30 days. You have Grossman, Candelario, Cabrera, Scope, Haas. All these guys have weighted OBAs that are a lot higher than you would expect, 373 or higher from all those guys. They also have really good matchups against Keuchel. I don't know exactly what all their stats are, but I think they're hitting like 388 against him with the guys that are in the lineup. They have really great numbers against him throughout their career. So I really do like the Tigers in this spot. What they've also done is, if you remember in April and in like the beginning of May, they also struck out a ton. Well, now they've dropped those strikeouts plenty, like 5% against lefties in the middle of May to now. So that's another big thing. They're not striking out. And of course, they're not going to be striking out with Dallas on the mound in the first place. So again, Tigers over 3.5 on the team total. It's an official play, and that's the banker of the day as well.
Gotcha. There you go. By the way, Vitalis in the chat box saying, Matt Shoemaker pitches a little bit better on the road. Well, you would too if 3 of the games that you pitched at Detroit, terrible lineup, at Oakland, premier pitchers ballpark, and
except
at Detroit, terrible lineup. So now
except for today.
Except he's going to stink today. I mean, if that's your 3 starts on the road going against that team, I would have liked to see it if it was like a little tiny ballpark and see how he does. He's only going to go 5 innings. What I'm looking for, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, tack someone on the bullpen. Everybody goes home happy. And maybe another Kyle's best bet and banker on a monster shot by one of these Royals guys here that we had last night. Let's take a look, Kyle, best bet and banker for you. What you got?
Well, let me expound on that. First of all, people always ask me, what lineups do you like in DFS? And the 2 teams that you 2 gentlemen just talked about are the 2 teams I have the most exposure to. It's crazy. It takes balls to bet the Tigers, and I wanted to do it, and I applaud Jason for doing it. But literally, I have 7 Tigers tonight in my player pool. They just profile beautifully off of Keuchel. So I love both of those plays by both of you guys. I'm going to go with the Cardinals team total. I got it at over 3.5 at like minus 135, minus 140 earlier today. I'm seeing some people say in the chat it's now over 4 at plus money. If you get the 4, of course, just take it. Over 3.5. So if they get the 4, you're just free rolling at that point. If it doesn't hit, you push. Who cares? No harm, no foul. I think they get it done tonight. Luis Castillo is an absolute can. He's one of the worst right-handed pitchers who we know about. He's got a name recognition, and he also sucks. I mean, he's just absolutely god-awful. And I think the Cardinals get it done tonight. So if it's at 3.5 or 4, I will take that Cardinals team total. That's my favorite play of the day. And I think I'm going to make it official as well. For me, I'm going to take the Dodgers minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus 105. I just can't shy away from getting that Dodgers lineup against a mediocre righty at plus money. I know the Braves lineup is scary, and I completely agree. But give me that plus money. Let's take a chance. Cards team total over 4 plus money. Dodgers minus 0.5 in the first 5 plus money. Those are my official plays today.
By the way, watching right here on the MLB Network, the question came up there, should pitchers be batting? If anybody watched last night, just trotting home, the Marlins pitcher, Alicia Hernandez's leg blew off because pitchers apparently can't even jog, so that's why they walk off of the mound. It's amazing that's still in play. And also keep in mind, maybe some little bit of head games here with the pitchers here in Major League Baseball where they're starting to crack down on junking up the baseball. If anybody was on Twitter today and saw the one video of a couple years ago making its rounds with the St. Louis Cardinals where the pitcher threw a ball to Yadier Molina, it hit his pad and stuck to it like it was Velcro. You think there's a problem with doctoring the baseballs where a ball bounces off a piece of equipment and just sticks to it? Amazing stuff here. So baseball never ceases to amaze me. Let's get the lightning round going. Thunder, lightning all over the card. Let's see what we have on the schedule today as we rip through these games. 9:53, 9:54, Miami and Pittsburgh. This one just missed for me. And yesterday just missed for me on a value menu wager where the Marlins second and third, 1 out, 7th inning, needed to push 1 runner across, weren't able to do it and end up losing that game. Keller is a really bad pitcher. This total is 8 across the board. Any thoughts on the Marlins and the Pittsburgh Pirates here, Jason?
Yeah, I'd much rather rely on the Marlins offense than the Pirates right now. And Poteet actually hasn't been that bad. 2.95 ERA, FIP of 3.12, walking just 1.69 batters per 9 innings through 21.1 innings pitched. So, yeah, it hasn't been terrible. Keller has been almost 5 walks per 9 innings and 6.54 ERA. So, if you're getting a line for basically, near a pick 'em for the Marlins, maybe a little bit more of a favorite there. The Marlins seem like a lot of value there against the Pirates in the spot.
All right, keep moving here. Cleveland and Baltimore, 967, 968. Kyle Mejia's on the mound versus Aiken, and it says K. It's not Clay Aiken, you know what I mean? So get that out of your mind here. 104 to 110 across the board, depending where you're shopping at. Roughly a pick 'em here for Baltimore, 8.5 across the board, Kyle. Any thoughts on this game or any matchups to your advantage?
Yeah, I agree with Jason, and I like Cleveland an awful lot. Like, wait, so I get to basically have a pick 'em against the Baltimore Orioles? Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, no, I will take Cleveland. I love the advantages here. Jose Ramirez is big in my player pool, big 48% advantage here. I like Cleveland. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters with a 25% or higher advantage over the last 3 years in weighted OPS. I like Cleveland. I think they get it done tonight. Fade of Aiken, the lefty. Yeah, I like Cleveland. I like him first 5. I like him full game. Indians get it done tonight.
I always like some of the scrolls that come across my screen right now. Just reminded me that Rhys Hoskins is 0 for 17 with 10 Ks versus Scherzer. Make sure he's in your DFS lineup tonight. Yeah. You can certainly eat on that one. 969, 970. Houston and Toronto. Zach Greinke and Hyun-Jin Ryu. -129 to -135, depending on where you're shopping at. 8.5 across the board. Keep in mind, this game is in Buffalo tonight. 2 really good-looking lineups. Pedigree pitchers on the mound. Any thoughts on this game, Jason?
This one's tough because Ryu, one of the more consistent pitchers in all of baseball. Greinke, he's had his good moments on the year as well. I would lean towards the under 4.5 in the first 5. It's funny now because last year we used to get so many 4.5s in the first 5. Well, now we're seeing so many more 3.5s because of less scoring. So when you get that extra run in the first 5, it's intriguing because as long as there's not a run per inning, then you could be good and you could get out of that with the under in the 4.5 of the first 5. So I like that with both these pitchers on the mound. I think they both get the job done there. But I would lean towards the Blue Jays in the first 5 if you had to pick a team.
As soon as we got off the air yesterday, I fired away on the FanDuel Sportsbook because they were giving me basically a 1-run number in the Yankees and Tampa Bay for each side and able to hit the Tampa Bay one immediately. The Yankees free rolled for 2.5 innings but weren't able to score. But those are always interesting to me in blowout type situations where each team needs 1 run to cash their team total in. Got it yesterday. Tampa Bay, the lefty on the mound, Fleming versus Gibson at home in Texas. 8s across the board. Usually a lower scoring game is what you anticipate with Tampa Bay. -130 on the road. Any thoughts on these lineups today? Because Gibson hasn't been a bad pitcher this year. Usually he's one of those guys, Kyle, we look to fade right away, but not so much this year.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. And this one's kind of tough because, again, it's like, okay, we've got the Texas Rangers and we've got one of the hottest and best teams in baseball this year, the Rays, and you're getting a cheap number on them. But the pitching advantage certainly favors Texas. When you just look at this lineup for Texas, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players at 26% or better in terms of an average of weighted OPS. So it's really, really tough to take Tampa Bay. I understand the desire to do so because it's a short number. You can get them -0.5 at plus money, as a matter of fact. But Fleming, I can't lie and say I know much about this Fleming guy. But there's nothing. He's been okay, right? His last 3 starts have been meh. I would say the under in the first 5 innings sort of makes a lot of sense. Under 4 at +100. I don't think there's a ton of runs early. I'm always looking for those, even money plus number spots. +100 under 4 runs in the first 5 innings makes a lot of sense to me.
There you go. Keep it moving. Milwaukee, 957, 958 versus Arizona. Peacock and Peralta, 190 to 200 as a favorite here for Milwaukee. Good part about this is Milwaukee looks like they're going to open the roof tonight, 80 degrees up there. So you let that heat and humidity in to see if that ball travels. The one interesting side I like here would be a Milwaukee team total, Jason, because they'll be able to load up lefties, which looks like Peacock is susceptible to. We'll see if it happens tonight. What are your thoughts in this game?
Yeah, and you hit it right on the head. You got the lefties there for the Brewers, but you also have Peralta going on the mound. He's 5-1 in 10 starts this year, 13.18 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's been terrific. Batting average of balls in play just 206. So maybe that kind of starts to increase a little bit, but I'm not sure the Diamondbacks are going to be that team to increase it. Of course, Peralta does not get a big amount of ground balls. It's more fly balls and strikeouts, kind of like what Scherzer does. And obviously, Scherzer's been very, very good. So I don't think that's going to be a problem for Peralta at all. He's going to do great. I think, obviously, the offense for the Brewers should do fine with all those lefties in the lineup. So Brewers minus 0.5 in the first 5 at around minus 135. Looks like a great play. And, of course, the team total as well. I think anywhere you go with the Brewers, I think you'll win tonight.
Yep.
9.5 across the board here, Kyle, out in Kansas City, Schumacher and Keller. We talked about this game already. I do have a best bet in the banker on the team total for the Kansas City Royals at 4.5. FanDuel has them at minus 134, but they're anywhere between 120 to 134, depending on where you're shopping at. Mostly 9.5s across the board, 80 degrees the first pitch, wind blowing out to left field. We'll see what happens tonight. Your final thoughts on this game. What are you looking at?
What if I told you, Donnie, that you could get the Royals minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus money? Isn't that crazy? Shoemaker, look, Brad Keller, he's not a world beater, but he's not Shoemaker. Shoemaker's god awful. And Keller has been better, and you're getting the Royals at plus money in the first 5 innings. This should almost be let's add this to the value menu. We talked about it earlier. Royals minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus money. Are you kidding me? The lineup projects beautifully. You can take the Royals for the whole game if you want, because that bullpen is absolutely trash as well. I love this lineup tonight. I talked about the success that Salvador Perez has had off of Shoemaker. He is not the only one. Whit Merrifield, very, very good. Benintendi, very, very good. Up and down this order, there's advantages. It's Royals or bust for me tonight.
Back over the holiday weekend, we're in the 40s in Chicago. Now going to be over 80 degrees, 975, 976. Detroit versus the Chicago White Sox. Turnbull and Keuchel, 156 favorite in New Jersey, 148 offshore in favor of the Chicago White Sox. Quick thoughts on this game, Jason, if you have any added advantages you want to put in there.
Yeah, let me just read off the career stats for some of these hitters quickly. You have Candelario batting 600 with a double and a triple. You have Nico Goodrum with a home run, batting 500, 3 out of 6. Robbie Grossman, 2 of 4 with 2 doubles. You have Scope with a home run. Mazzara probably won't start, but he also has a home run. Cabrera has a home run, and also an OBP and an on-base percentage of 391. So again, the Tigers lineup has really good numbers versus Dallas in the first place, and they've been hitting lefties a lot better within the last 30 days as well. So again, I like the Tigers here over 3.5 on the team total. It's an official play for me.
All right, quick thoughts here. Cincinnati and St. Louis. Castillo, who I know you ripped already, going up against Kim, the lefty on the mound. Numbers rising here. 125 offshore turns into 139. St. Louis getting the money here, Kyle.
Yeah, and I agree with it. And again, I said I don't mind a little sprinkle on that Arenado home run prop as well. I just cannot back Luis Castillo. I just can't do it. I like the Cardinals in this game. I don't mind. People are asking about like parlays, money line parlays. I think the Cardinals would be a piece of that tonight. Kim, the lefty, that Reds lineup doesn't profile well. I mean, for me, it's all systems go and all signs point to the St. Louis Cardinals. I like that lineup in DFS. And by the way, again, another line that I'm seeing wrong. Cardinals minus 0.5 plus 115 in the first 5 innings. I know it's risky to take that minus 0.5, but my goodness, couldn't you see the Cardinals jump out to a 4-0 lead early in this game and just never look back? And then you're talking about money line. So not only do they have a bad pitcher on the mound, the Reds have the worst bullpen in baseball, even worse than the Tigers now. For the first few, month and a half, it was the Tigers. The Reds are now the worst bullpen in baseball. Cardinals are bust for me. I like them first 5. I like them full time. I like their team total and a slight sprinkle on that Arenado prop.
Just seeing a lineup come out here for the Minnesota Twins. No Nelson Cruz. You got Polanco, Donaldson, Krylov, Estudillo, Larnack, Sano, Gordon, Celestino, and Rortvedt. So maybe Kansas City is a awesome play here in the first 5 innings. We'll see how that actually turns out. But that's not a great-looking lineup just from the names here as I see it out of the corner of my eye. Oakland, Colorado, Jason, out in the Rockies, 11s across the board. Favorite towards Oakland here. Is Oakland able to hit Gray out there in elevation? Or are we looking at maybe both sides being able to get the job done here?
I see a lot of guys in the chat. They're talking about they're on the Rockies in the first 5 innings, and I agree with them. Again, I was on them yesterday. I love them today. Gray, if you look at his home and away splits, it's ridiculous. 2.36 ERA at home with a 4-1 record in 7 starts, then also 6.75 ERA on the road in 4 starts and 0-4. So when he's home, he's on. Yeah, it's going to be weird with the weather, so who knows if that will continue. But for now, you have to ride that 2.36 ERA. And Montez, his strikeout has been higher for Oakland the last 2, so that's something to look at as well. But he's also allowed a 222 ISO to righties in the last 58 plate appearances. So, look, I think the Rockies plus 0.5 in the first 5 is the way to go. I wouldn't go money line in case it's a closer game, and it could be tied at the end of the 5. And Kyle already talked about McMahon. There's other guys in the lineup that can do damage for the Rockies as well from the right-handed side. I think the Rockies are a live dog here, but I would look at the plus 0.5 in the first 5 if you want to play a little bit safer.
Leading MVP candidate in the American League is going to take the mound tonight, Shohei Ohtani for the Angels versus Seattle and Duggar. Duggar hasn't been very good. No surprise that it's a minus 168 in New Jersey, 155 offshore for this game. But as we talk about it, I mean, look, I know Ohtani's going to be good, but they baby this guy. He might go 4 1/3, and ooh, wow, he had 6 strikeouts. Fantastic. You need your pitcher to get 7 innings deep in this one. We'll see how the bats come to play, but hey, I like Ohtani. He's a really good pitcher, but if I'm going to look at 5 innings out of my good pitcher every night, I can't back him in any circumstance.
Exactly, and you hit the nail right on the head, because then you're relying on that bullpen, and guess what? The Angels have the 4th worst bullpen in the major league, and you can't really. So yes, I know the pitcher Duggar for Seattle stinks. But what about that lineup for the Angels? I mean, are we really without Trout, it just seems like a pit of despair for the Angels, right? It just doesn't look
every
good.
Year.
It's every year. Yeah. I mean, Walsh and Rendon, you can support them a little bit once in a while. David Fletcher. And I know Upton's had a couple of good games, but Justin Upton absolutely sucks. No, this is a complete stay away game for me. If I was going to lean a direction, I would take the plus money on the Mariners. It's a live dog. Yes, Ohtani is better than Duggar, but again, Ohtani, you're right. Ohtani's going to pitch 4 or 5 innings. They're going to make sure he's their most valuable asset. He's more valuable to them than Mike Trout. People know who Shohei Ohtani is. If you saw Mike Trout walk by you on the street, would you know it's Mike Trout? I would.
Absolutely.
I absolutely would not. I would walk right by that guy.
That giant head and giant body, you would definitely know that's.
Well, I'd check him out,
He probably would be wearing an Angels hat too.
I'd check him out, I'd be like, hey, that's a handsome dude right there. But other than that, no, I would not know it's Mike Trout. If you're looking for if you're looking to add some juice to your parlays or looking for plus money, I guess you could add the Mariners. But for me, it's a stay away game.
You know what's interesting about the Angels? It's almost like they spend max money for 3 players in their lineup and everybody else sucks. Like if you look now, it's supposed to be Rendon, Ohtani, and Trout to try to carry the load here. Back in the day, even it was Trout, it was Pujols, it was Josh Hamilton, and then everybody else sucks around them. How about you build a complete lineup out there in LA for once? I mean, my goodness, every year, the same exact thing. Chicago, San Francisco, again, we don't have a pitcher here for San Francisco. So, looking towards Arrieta in this 8.5, it's always going to be in that range out there at Oracle Park. I do think San Francisco hits, no need to spend any time on that, but I do want to get Jason's thoughts here on the Mets and San Diego late, because I got to tell you, I look at some of these numbers here, and at BetMGM, you can get a 2.5 with decent juice at minus 135 on the Mets. 9 at bats to get 3 runs here, and even how poorly these lineups look for the New York Mets, it seems like they're surprising you with 3, 4, and 5 runs here. What do you think, Jason, out west here with your Mets?
The Mets scored 3 runs with Darvish on the mound last night, so it's obviously possible against Snell, who's looked really bad the last couple of weeks. Then you look at like the Padres, for example, in their last 30 days, they're really not hitting lefties too often. You have Pham, you have Hosmer, they're hitting lefties, but outside that, Machado, Cronenworth, Tatis, Myers, Profar, Rivas, they've all kind of struggled against lefties in the last month or so. I know a lot of those guys were on the IL due to COVID and whatnot, but the reality is, these guys don't strike out. And some of these guys are going to walk at a high rate, but they don't have that crazy power either. The Mets actually have a little bit more going for them against the lefty, like Lindor, McCann, Drury, McKinney, Peraza. They've all done a little bit better in terms of power. Why not take the Mets with the 2.5 team total? Why not look at the Mets at plus 0.5 in the first 5? Why not look at the Mets at plus 1.5? There's value there for the Mets. I know I'm a little bit biased, so take it for what it's worth, but Snell has not been good, and really the Padres' offense against lefties, they're overrated.
Yeah.
If it's 10:30 at night, if you're in New Jersey and you just hear a guy going, "Let's go Mets," I mean, that's going to be Jason here cheering at us on late at night. But nice little baseball show here for a Friday. Why don't we clear the bases, wrap it up, and tell the good folks out here what we have going on tonight? Again, value menu wager play. I'm waiting on the finalization of the San Francisco team total, which no matter what it is, I'm going to have a little bit of a taste of it because I think they're going to be able to knock down Arrieta. And also the good part about it, running mate maybe with the Cubs. If you get a bad pitcher on the mound here for the Giants, you're certainly not getting an ace if they're worried about who's pitching tonight. So you're going to get a pretty good matchup, maybe even looking towards that over 8.5. But my best bet and banker on the card tonight, the Kansas City Royals team total over 4.5 at -115. Should be able to get 5 runs tonight. Would love that bad lineup as it looks for the Twins to come out and score 4 runs. Why? Because that means Kansas City's going to have to score 5 runs and get the bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jason, what are you looking at here with your best bets, bankers, and also value menu wagers tonight?
Yeah, so the value menu wager is, of course, the Braves at over 3.5 on the team total at -140. Of course, the value menu wager means that you should put all of your units on it, put your mortgage on it, because you know it's going to
better than the best.
100%.
Put your wife on it. Easy way to get rid of your wife. Want to? I'm just saying.
The other plays, the actual plays are the Indians -111 via William Hill. You can get that around -110 to -125. There's a lot of value there with the Indians being the much better team. Again, I'm not sure if Eli Morgan's going to get the bulk after J.C. Mejia. But again, the Indians, whoever's coming out of the bullpen for the Indians has more skill and more potential and just better than any of the Orioles guys that come out of that bullpen. So again, the Indians -111, that's an official play for the full game wager. And then, of course, we're going with the Tigers over 3.5 on the team total at +100. It's +100 for over 3.5. Get me 4 runs. They've got some really great splits going up against lefties right now and against Dallas Keuchel in the first place. So I love the Tigers here. I know some people said that they're on the White Sox. The White Sox can win the game. I don't care if they score 100 runs. I just need the Tigers to score 4 runs and I'll be fine. So the White Sox want to win for you guys. I'm completely okay with that as long as the Tigers get me 4 runs.
I can't imagine taking a side anymore. I would like it was way too stressed. Why have so much stress in your life by taking a side where your team has 9 runs on the board and you're struggling because your closer's not available in the 9th to close the game out? Forget about it. Kyle, what are you talking about here? Best bet banker and also some value menu wagers recap.
Thank God I gave myself some notes because I would have. This is one of the cards where, as we kept going through and we kept talking about things, I kept noticing numbers like, what the hell is going on here? So I like 15 things today, for Christ's sake, and that's kind of risky to give that out. You know, I can't be a hero every damn day, for Christ's sake. So my official play of the day is the Cards team total. I had it at 3.5. If you're seeing it at 4, I don't mind it. 4.5 is a little more nervous, but again, over 4 is the same as hitting it over 4.5. You just get the push at 4. So I'll take that Cardinals team total. I like the no runs first inning in that Phillies Nats game for some value. The Dodgers first 5 -0.5 at +105. We made that official, right? Did I make that official? I think I did. The Red Sox money line in the first 5 -120. Our home run prop. Love myself some Ryan McMahon, Nolan Arenado, and Salvador Perez. Profiles nicely. And just to kind of piggyback on what you two were saying, I love that Royals play, and I love that Tigers play as well.
There you go. And by the way, Arkin knows that if you see a lot of eyeballs on Twitter from me tonight, that means we're doing pretty well with a lot of home runs leaving the ballpark for the good guys. One quick thought here before we get out of here. I haven't taken a Dodgers team total just yet, but it's apparent Big Boy Baseball is back in L.A. Look at the lineup tonight. Betts, Muncy, Turner, Bellinger, Smith, Taylor, Lux, and Pollock back in the lineup.
Come on.
That is a murderer's row back for the Dodgers.
-120. It's I'm looking at it. -115, excuse me, over 4.5. A Dodgers against a righty with a full healthy lineup. Silly. Let's make that official too. That's one of my official plays too. Change my mind. Dodgers team total.
Big boy baseball in LA. Friday card, exciting stuff. Thank you guys for joining us and talking a little Major League Baseball. Hopefully we can cash in on some of these tickets tonight. We'll be off for the weekend as always, back on Monday. But thank you for all the support and the love out there. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. This was the Major League Baseball show for Friday. Good luck over the weekend with those wagers.